Ready. Play.
Is number 2 in this group then, because number 1 is clearly Sinner. We've got Medvedev, Fritz, and the Minaur. And I think this is actually very close. Of course, Daniil has these shoulder issues and the serve, the forehand, he's been impacted. Fritz, nothing since the US Open, but did well last time. The Minaur, the only debutant in the field. But actually, form-wise, last few weeks after recovering from that hip issue, yeah, he's been okay. So
Yeah.
I think all of them are actually at a pretty similar level. I think if memory serves right, me and Vanch kind of wanted to, just have a different peak, and not different from each other, but just not go like Sinner Medvedev straight up. And I think we
No.
both said Sinner Fritz on the draw reaction. But honestly, I think for me, there's no right or wrong here. Medvedev, Fritz, the Minaur, they're all pretty close. Usually, I would say that Alex's ceiling is the lowest of these players. Yes, I just don't have that much confidence that right now this is the most important thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I actually think that I was doing the same thing but in the chat with Vanch, and I actually say Deminor to progress. I don't know. I think he can. I think he can trouble Fritz as a matchup. Fritz is actually the one who has a negative record against all the players in the group, but even that, I don't think it matters that much. It's close, I have to say. We've seen Deminor beating Medvedev on clay, which has, as much as clay is not Medvedev's face, it's maybe not where I was expecting him to surge and beat him, even if Alex did the great progress with his, of course, clay game, and we've seen also this year. So yeah, it feels like a close contest, and that's also why for me it's also important to see them. I mean, if the Turin court is as we have seen, in the past years, I think Deminor gonna have no issues in terms of the conditions. It's probably the conditions he prefers playing in. Fritz, of course, you mentioned the serve situation. I remember him was serving incredibly well in 22 when he played in Turin. And of course, Medvedev, it will be important to see how his serve is going to look. I mean, never looked really well this year, but I don't know. Maybe the shoulder can do, I don't know, fine for these matches. That's for what I've understood. It's kind of a consistent issue, but at times it's, less prominent. At times it's bothering him more. So yeah, for me, actually I had Deminor, I remember reading your tweet where it was kind of the power ranking. And I had another with only Deminor, which was above Ruud and Rublev. Then, of course, watching the groups, he goes down probably because, if he was in Rublev's group, I think he would have entered the match against Ruud as the favorite. But yeah, in this group, it's difficult for me, actually. But yeah, I have the feeling that this may not be Medvedev's time to get out of the group.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of also have the idea that probably it's just, we want to be a little bit more creative with the picks. Like, if I was going for
Probably.
like the most likely, I would still probably say Sinner Medvedev, but I don't have that much confidence in Daniil at the moment yet.
Also because
As you said,
this is the
Mhm.
group where we can have a little bit of,
Exactly, yeah.
of
So this is the
fantasy.
one where we're looking for something. I still don't know your opinion about the John Newcomb group. I'm gonna find out soon. But yes, that was my way of thinking as well. That like if we wanna be creative about the pick, this is the group to do it rather than the second one. And yeah, I also don't have that much confidence in Daniil, which is why I put him in that tier list that you mentioned. I put him in the free category, which usually I would like to have him higher. I just can't really go higher with him at the moment. And yeah, really that's it. So I put him right next to Fritz, which is also really like a good reflection of what I think about them in
Yeah.
the groups here, even though that was done before the groups.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.